Good afternoon. So I live in Northern Ontario, off-grid, and I have to gather my own water. My water needs to be safe, and I need a good supply of water. The average person can only go 3 to 5 days without water, but how long can you go and be healthy with poor quality water? That's the question. So when you live in the city, you count on the city to give you your water, and hopefully it's safe water. They put a lot of chlorine in it, and sometimes if it's been disrupted because of contamination, then they have a boil water advisory. But living off grid, I live in Northern Ontario, and for me, water is important. I need to make sure that I have a good supply of water, and I need to make sure my water is safe. So I did a video about a year ago on my water filtration system. Since then, I've upgraded it. I've done a lot of researching and trying to find out what's the best way of providing water for my family. And this is what I've come up with. So what we have here is I catch the rainwater. In the wintertime, I go to an artesian well and I pump it. But in the summertime, I get it off the eave trough. So this roof is the only roof where I gather rainwater from. And a lot of people say, "Ooh, rainwater, that's not healthy." Well, by the end of this video, you'll see that rainwater is perfectly healthy, providing you take care of the water properly. So this roof here, I get my water off this roof and this roof. It comes over here, down this eave trough. It comes to this. This is called a first flush. And what it does is it catches everything off the roof. And I clean this thing out every couple of days, especially after a rain. This catches your pine needles, bugs, bird crap, whatever's on the roof. This thing catches it. Now, what happens then, the rainwater comes down this pipe. And when it gets to the bottom, I'll open this up, let you take a look. When the rainwater comes down to the bottom of that pipe, there's this ball here. And this ball, because of the rainwater in the pipe, this ball goes back up. In the bottom here, there's a little tiny drain. One rainfall and it got plugged. Anyways, water comes down here and it drips. But this ball goes up the pipe. It travels up this pipe. So it hits this T right here. Now the water that drips out of the bottom of the pipe goes into my old tile and takes off. So this ball rises up to this T. That's all my couple 3 gallons of contaminated water. After this first flush, or after this leaf eater catches it, then the first flush catches the rest. This ball comes up to this T, then it diverts the water. Water comes around here like this, through here, and into my tote. You see my tote's about half full. This is from 2 rainfalls. Once this tote gets full, the water will back up, and then it'll go down this drain here, which again catches my O-tile and sends it away. So what I've got now is I've got a leaf eater, a first flush, and in here there's a nylon stocking. That catches pretty much everything that's going to come into the house. Now, what happens then is I have a pump inside of here, and I plug it in. And it pumps the water out. I'll show you where that water goes. It just pumps out of here, and I'll show you where. When I plug that pump in, water comes through here, goes through here, goes into that ABS. Now, in the wintertime, I empty that tote out. I get my water from an artesian well, and then I bring it up through here. Okay, let's go in the house and see what we got going on here. So, when I turn that outside pump on, water comes in here. It comes into my 1,000-liter tote. That outside plug is actually going to be going on to a light switch right here, so I'll be able to turn the light switch on and off. That way I can keep an eye on what's going on into this tote. Keep this tote clean. You don't want anything floating around in there. Regularly I go in here and I clean this. I've cut the top out. That way I can actually get in and clean it up nice. What I do when the water comes inside is I dump a little bit of bleach in there. E. coli is 2 microns. By dumping some bleach in there, that should kill the E. coli. The water then comes up here into my pump, through here, into my tank, up here, and into my filters. Okay, so what I've got here, let me back up a little bit. I've got 4 filters, and what I do is, there, I just shut the water off going into my filters. I just shut the water off, come over here, there's a bypass. So now, if you look at it, you can see that the water's shut off over here. The water's shut off here. So now what happens is when the water comes up, it bypasses the filters. The reason I do that is so that I can change these filters. These filters are due to be changed. So that way I can change the filters without shutting the water off to the house. Okay, let's go back here, open this up. Now I've done a lot of researching. I found out what other people do, and some things I liked and some things I didn't like. So I built my own system. So here you go. 30 micron filter. 30 micron filter is one of your cheapest filters. It'll take out anything that's larger than 30 microns in size. How big is a micron, you say? A hair follicle is about 10 microns. So 3 times the size of a hair follicle, this thing will take out. Then I go to a 5 micron filter. That takes out anything that's larger than 5 microns. I then go to a 1 micron filter. That'll take out anything that's larger than 1 micron. Again, like I said, E. coli is 2 microns. So by the time it gets here, if the chlorine hasn't killed it, when it gets to here, this should not be able to get through here. From there, I go to a 1 micron filter. This filter would take out any lead and chlorine. There shouldn't be any lead. The chlorine, there's definitely still chlorine in there because I put it into my main tank. So this will take out the chlorine. So again, E. coli is 2 microns. Anything larger than 1 micron will be out from this filter. Water then goes up. I've got 55 psi in my lines, basically, which is roughly about average. Water then comes across here, and here you'll see I've got another shut-off valve here. Got a shut-off valve here. I got a shut-off valve here. Right now, the water is bypassing. This is my UV light. I'm doing some wiring, so I haven't got it hooked back up again. So had I had it hooked up, this would be closed, so the water can't go this way. This would be open. Water would then come down here and into my UV light. There's a drain for draining this when I want to drain it. And then there you go. UV light needs to have copper for the first foot or so. I'm not sure why, but they say you need copper. I've got it on 2 shark bites. That way I can pop a shark bite, pull the whole entire thing off, repair it, replace it, whatever I have to do, then pop it back on again. So now all the chlorine's out, all the E. coli's out. Now it's gone through a UV light, which again is taking out the chlorine. Or no, not the chlorine, but the E. coli. Nothing should be here. It shouldn't get past here. It shouldn't get past here. It shouldn't get past here. Then the water carries on, goes through my hot and cold water tanks, lines, through my hot water tank, and that's it. So there's my whole entire water filtration system in a nutshell. I've done a lot of research. I'm really happy with the system. I went to a restaurant and I drank water at the restaurant and it was disgusting. So I'm not sure what they do, but I can't count on the city to give me water because I don't live in the city. I can't count on buying bottled water because I'm off grid and I don't want to spend the money on bottled water. So my water all comes off the eave trough. I'm 100% happy with it. It's safe. I test it all the time. I went to Amazon. I bought a water testing kit. A lot of the kits, a lot of people will test your water. You got to send it away for 24 hours, 48 hours. I test my own water. I bought the kit on Amazon. I've also bought another thing on Amazon where you check for E. coli. I test my water all the time for E. coli, no E. coli. I test it for hardness, chlorine, lead, everything. There's like 15 different things I test it for. My water always comes back perfect. So that's my system. I'm really happy with it. I'm not sure what your system is, but if you can give me some tips, I'm always happy to upgrade. I am really happy with it, but you never know, there might be something I could be doing that can make it a little bit better. If you've seen this video and you think it's a great system, let me know what you think. Let me know if this has helped you with your off-grid system for your homestead. Let me know if there's a tip here that's really going to help you with your system. Anyways, thank you for watching, and continue to watch my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, like I say, send me a comment, and we'll talk to you in the next video.